doing? Hello. All right. So, how are we feeling today? How is everything going? So, if you're in the UK, we have had some sun. It's sunny. Finally, the grey weather is done. Well, I say done. It is the UK, so it's probably not done. But I feel like everyone's like in a much happier mood and everything's going like a lot more hunky dory. I also feel like my hands are like a different color from my face. I haven't even got that much makeup on. I've got like a bit of concealer on and a bit of like mascara, but my hands are like a different color. Also, I did do these nails and I'm really annoyed because I did some gardening yesterday because of the sun and it all chipped off. That's really annoying. Does anyone have any hints or tips on how to actually make your nail varnish stay? I put 2 layers of color, 2 layers of top coat, and it still comes off. I don't do gel because I find that it just makes my nails really brittle and really like frail, whereas now they're really just strong. So how are we all feeling today? How is it going? We are the kind of coming towards the end of Q1. How have we felt about Q1? Summarize Q1 in a emoji for me. Like, how are you feeling? How are things kind of going for you right now? I feel like Q1 went really slowly, or it is going very slowly. I feel like March is going to be a lot faster, but I just feel like everything was just dragging on. And so many people, in fact, I'm going to take my cardi off because it's warm now. It's the sun, you see. I feel like so many people were like, it's slow, what's going on? Like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but everything seems to be a lot lower than last year. I'm not really sure how it's kind of feeling. And I feel as if sometimes we need to take an umbrella view rather than like a micro looking at the month, looking at the week view. I think the problem is with like Etsy stats is that it compares it like week on week. And also the other thing is as well, is that sometimes if the months are longer, if the months are shorter, and you're comparing it month on month, like you can't compare a 28-day month to a 31-day month. Do you know what I mean? So it is a good idea to take a more umbrella view. Also, it depends on the weather. It depends on the geopolitical situation on you know, wherever you guys are. And we all know that that's kind of going a little bit wobbly right now, to say the least. And also it depends on a lot of different factors as well. So like, again, like I've just said, within the UK, it has been very grey. January, Feb was just wind, grey, rain, wind, grey, rain, wind, grey, rain. If you're in the north, it was snow, grey, rain, and a bit of wind thrown in there as well. So the chances are is that a lot of people probably won't be in the mood for shopping. They're probably just like, oh, you know, things are financially tight right now. I have to start paying off. I have to start doing things around the house. I have to start doing this. I have to start doing that. And just basically all of this to say that make sure that you're taking a zoomed out view. Don't just look at this month and go, well, this month was rubbish, because you have to actually look at, okay, this time last year, what were the differences? How were you feeling? Were you marketing more? Were you marketing less? Were you marketing differently? What kind of products did you have? Have you put your prices up? Have you put your prices down? Like, there's lots of different things that I think mean that the patterns and the buying patterns and how your stats ultimately look, why they change, you know. Mother's Day is also much later this year than last. Yes, for sure. And that's it, is that everything is sort of changing. Easter, I think, is either early or late this year. I can't remember for the life of me. But it's kind of like one of those things where you're thinking, okay, everything's moving round. So you can't really compare fairly year on year, because every year there's something different. Every year something happens. But yet we still want to compare year on year. So just remember that the very next time you're like, oh my God, things are so slow. What's going on? What have I done wrong? The chances are it's nothing you've done wrong. The chances are is that the buying patterns of your target audience might have changed versus last year. It could be that maybe marketing has changed. It could mean maybe the algorithm has changed. It doesn't necessarily mean anything personal about you. Okay. So today the first thing I need to say is the Brandathon is officially starting a week today. Can you believe it? If you are watching on Instagram, if you comment the word Brandathon, I'll send you a nice little DM basically to like give you all the information that you need. Otherwise, it is handmadebosses.com/Brandathon and you will find it there. So today, in line with the Brandathon, it's a week out, it's a week until we start. Basically, the general idea is, and let me just show you because I feel as if I should have something to back up what I'm saying. There it is. So basically what we are doing is the 10th is our welcome wagon week. This is where we are essentially making sure that you are ready. We're giving you a bunch of tasks, a bunch of things to do to prepare for the Brandathon challenge. I am live on the Monday to welcome everybody in, to talk a little bit more about the challenge, talk a little bit more about why it's going to work, the preparations you have to do, where to get all your stuff, all that kind of good stuff, right? Then we move on from the 17th onwards. I am live every other day with something that you need to do. And there's an implementation day. That's what I wanted to say in between each. Okay, so what I want you guys to do, if you can, is clear out your calendar for the month beginning the 17th of March, because you're gonna need some time to make all these changes. So that's one thing I will say, is make sure that you clear out some time. Okay, but today we are critiquing your brands live. So what I want you to do is I want you to pop your link in. Now, a couple of links that I've been given have not worked. They've either been broken or the shop has not been there. So just make sure that the link is right before you send it to me. And today I'm going to throw them up on the screen and I'm going to ask 3 to 5 questions about the brand. And I want you guys to get involved as well, because you are someone who is looking at this person's brand, wherever it is, whether it's a website, an Etsy shop, Instagram. I've got a real mix here. I want you guys, because you are seeing it for the very first time, to give me your first impressions, okay? I've got lipstick on my teeth. I'm always like scared that I do. So I really, have I got something stuck in my teeth? Oh yes, I have. Ew. There you go. Sorted. The downsides of having lunch then going straight on camera. So what I would love for you guys, I've got something in the corner of my mouth too. I'm just an absolute mess today. My nails are hanging off. I've got lipstick floating around everywhere. So let me start again. 3 to 5 things. I want you guys to get involved. If you're watching on headphones, or if you're listening but not really watching, I want you to stop whatever you're doing, unless it's driving, in which case don't. And I want you to come to the chat, come to the comments, and I want you to actually give people a helping hand, because that is what the Brandathon is essentially all about. I'm going to be teaching, sure, I'm going to be giving you all the strategies, all the nice things, but I also want you guys to get involved and actually, help other bosses out that are here right now. Yeah? Okay. So I've got a bunch of, let me grab a bunch up. So I think I've probably got enough, maybe. I mean, still comments. I'm going to be picking at random. Let's pick that one. Lovely. Just make sure that it's right, that the capitalization is right and all that kind of stuff as well. That would be great. Okay. So the first one I'm going to throw up on the screen is, which one shall I do? Let's do, which shall I pick? Okay, let's do this one then. So I'm going to share my screen and I want you guys to answer these 3 questions for me. So can you all see that okay? I'm sure you can, but let me know if you can see that one okay. All right. So the 3 questions that I would love you guys to answer, well, the first one is the brand clear? So I'm talking about branding. So is the colors, fonts, imagery, like, is it clear in terms of, do you know what the brand is? So I guess like an example of this is if you go onto my Instagram profile, it's immediately glaringly obvious what the brand is, what the brand colors are, what the fonts are, what the general vibe is. Is it formal? Is it playful? Is it happy? Is it value-based? Like, what is your initial thought? Let me just add that in there. What is your initial thoughts on the brand? I'm going to be putting these in the comments for you as well. So here's the first 2 questions. We're going to pop them in the comments and I want you to answer them in the comments as well. So the name suits a craft, but I'm not sure what the branding is meant to be like. Okay, let me scroll around a little bit. I might actually zoom out a little wee smidge as well, so you can see a lot more. So to me, the brand is not clear at all. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure. I also think the pictures are quite dark, but that's like a whole other thing. So for me, I'm like, and obviously everything I always say is always with love as well. So don't like take everything I'm saying as like gospel. Make sure that, you know, you take what works for you and you leave the rest. Okay. So that's the first and foremost thing. But for me, my personal answer is the branding, like the color, the fonts, the imagery, it's not clear. Like, I'm not sure what the brand is. Is it pink? Is it like white? Is it gray? Is it red? Like, I'm seeing more electric pink and red than I am seeing any other color. And also the logo is very, very small. Like, I can't read that even on my big screen. I can read Cottage Makes, but that's about it. And my initial thoughts on the brand is I don't know who it's for. Like, I have no idea, right? But let me just read through the comments real quick. Facebook, come on, give me some comments. Not immediately clear what the brand is. Cute, but looks very Christmassy. Yes, and that's the downside with not updating out of date posts and stuff like that, is that, like, if someone lands on your social media, and also, like, side note here, did you know that something ridiculous like 75% of people that find your shop on Etsy or find your shop on Google or on Not on the High Street or Amazon or wherever, they will go on to your socials, they will track you down, they will find you, because they use it as like a yardstick to figure out, okay, are they paying attention? Are they uploading onto their social media often? What's my thoughts on the comments that people are leaving, what their Instagram is like? I mean, 9 times out of 10, they'll just visit anyway, just to kind of see what the general vibe is and what other things you have to offer. It's almost like getting like a slice of your entire business, and that basically is what people use social media for. So if it's not up to scratch, as you can imagine, it will turn people off. And I think this is where a lot of people kind of, you know, they kind of do social media as like a side thing, and they'll kind of go, oh, I'll do that when I have time, or I'll update or put a post when I get round to it. But the issue with that is that if you have some old stuff on there, or you're not updating it, or there's something not quite right, you are missing a trick. Yeah. Christmassy, first thing I think of. Yeah, so like a Christmassy sort of branding. Yes. Looks too seasonal, Christmas and Valentine's, but anything outside of the seasons. Yep. Let me just scroll down a little bit. There's not a lot of posts, which is fine. It's obviously quite a new account, which is fine. Let me just have a look on Instagram. Cute, but looks very Christmassy, cute and festive. Yeah, so like cute, festive. Okay. So the next 2 questions I'm going to ask you guys, I'm going to pop them in the comments as well. And that is it clear what the brand's core values are? Because that's another thing. Your core values, or the general feeling. And if you remember, was it last week or the week before? I think it was the week before. We did like a brand quiz where we basically like went onto brand sites and we were like, right, give me 3 to 5 words that you get from this brand. Were you there for that live? But I want you guys to do the same, but for your own branding. So the question is the core values clear? Are you landing on this and you're like, and it's immediately clear what the 3 to 5 core values are? So I think a good way to go about this would be, tell me what your 3 to 5 words are when you land on this brand, right? What's your 3 to 5 words? Then the second question is it clear who they are trying to attract? Is it clear who they are trying to attract? So unfortunately for me, the core value, like I can get cute. Like I can definitely get cute from this. Whimsical, I guess, is another like core value. I'm just having a little look and just seeing, because I'm deliberately not reading anything. I'm just kind of trying to get like a general feel. I think whimsical and cute are the main 2 that I'm personally getting here. And for me, is it clear who they're trying to attract? For me, it's probably kids. Like, I'm feeling like these are kids' toys. No, I mean, I'd probably buy them, but for me, I'm kind of like, are they kids? But then I'm seeing mum, so it could be kids. So I'm probably thinking like kids toys, like kids stuff, kids products. So whimsical and cute, those are the two that I'm getting the most of here. What do you guys think? So Sarah says super cute, but no, it's not clear on who. What do you guys think? I want you guys to give me like 3 to 5 core values, or let's not call them core values, let's call them feelings. What's the 3 to 5 words to describe the feelings that you get when you immediately first land on this profile? Dig deep, guys. Tell me what those words are. Give me and Kirsty a hand. Sustainable materials, not plastic. Yes. Although, did you read that from the bio? Because that's sort of cheating. Will last, not throw away. Yeah. Cutesy, colorful, happy. Yes. Yep. That's a really good. Yeah. Handmade, cute, fun. Okay, cool. Warm, cozy, cute, festive, love. Yes. So if this is your shop, raise your hand. You are obviously here because you put this in the comments, but from all of the things that I've read out, is everything what you were trying to get at, I guess, is my question to you. And if the answer is no, then definitely joining the Brandathon challenge is going to help you here, because we are going to cover all 4 of those things. So is your branding, color, fonts, imagery clear? What's your initial thoughts? Core values, are they clear? And also, is it clear who you're trying to attract? So we're going to cover all 4 of those things. So if you haven't joined the Brandathon yet, my lovely, I'd 100% say do, because it's going to really, really help you. Okie dokie. Next one, let's do this one. Okay. So I'm going to ask you the same question. I'm just going to scroll around real quick, just so you can kind of get a rough idea as to what's going on. So I'll leave it here. There you go. I'll leave it there. So the 4 questions that I want you guys to answer, I'll pop in the comments again for you. Christy, sorry, not Kirsty. I don't know why my brain switches the R and the I around. So I want you guys to answer the question about this brand, all the questions rather. Is the branding clear? What's your initial thoughts? Is it obvious what their core values are? And also, is it clear who they are trying to attract? So who are they trying to attract? So, okay, I've got so many tabs open. It's like going from here to there to everywhere. It's like bouncing all around. This is really helpful on the Brandathon. Yes. So I'll pop the Brandathon link below. There's also a test there as well, Christy, that I'll attach to that comment. And it's a Google form. You don't have to put your email in or nothing like that. But it's just a test, just to kind of see, are you going to get anything from it, and how much is your brand actually costing you? So that would be really, really good to take, because it's a little bit more bespoke than just being like, oh, what's XYZ and what have you, So definitely join the Brandathon. The Brandathon. Oh my god, the Brandathon. I need a bit of water. Oh, my tongue's all over the place there. It's like, so if you answer those 4 questions for me, is the branding clear? What's your initial thoughts? Are the core values obvious? And is it clear who they are trying to target or attract, rather? So for me, like, these pinned posts are one brand and this is another. Like, that's my honest thoughts. Like, this is one brand. Like, if I was to cover that up and I wasn't looking at the feed, I'd say this was more like natural, muted, natural tones, beiges, browns, greens. Whereas this is like pink, girly, like, do you know what I mean? So, I'm not a fan of like mock-ups that look like mock-ups. I think mock-ups have to be done really, really well, because if they're not, then what happens is that you end up looking like in the search results, you look like the same as everybody else. And the problem with that is then your views go boo, because people just don't know what shop is what. Especially if you're doing like digital downloads, you have to make sure your pictures are chef's kiss on point, because so many shops use mock-ups, and Etsy themselves have kind of come out and said, like, you know, we really want the first picture to be of the actual item. And I think that's for a very specific reason. And that's because they want to see what the print will look like once it's printed. They want to see what the planner will look like once it's printed. They just want to see what it looks like once it's printed and actually in the home or the life or whatever of the person buying it. So all of that to say, I think there is a brand there. It's hovering around beige and pink, but I don't know. Like, there's kids products, there's adult products, there's just lots going on. So honestly, for me, like, the question of is it clear who they're trying to attract? No, if I'm being honest. And obviously, like I said, everything I say is always with love. But there's blue going on here, there's gray going on here, like there's some more beige going on here. There's like baby products here. There's just quite a lot going on. So personally, it's not clear. My initial thoughts are, I have no idea what they sell. I know it's printables, and I know that they are art and things that you can print to make your home more yours. But I'm a bit like, okay, I just don't know whether that's for me or not, because I'm seeing a lot of different things. So as we know, as marketers, a confused mind always says no. So it doesn't matter if your target audience, you have the products that your target audience desperately want. If you're not presenting that in a clear, straightforward way, a confused mind says no. They'll just click off. Taking all the feedback on board, thank you. You are most welcome. Hello, by the way. Is that the same if you sell cross-stitch patterns? I don't put a picture of the pattern, but I do take a picture of its stitch. Yeah. So I would always, because I think at this stage where there is no such thing as an untapped market, especially in the downloadables sector or niche, I would always say, if you want to get more views, more sales, then definitely make sure to put a picture of the product as if it's just been bought and done, you know, printed or created or whatever you want to do. I know that can be a pain in the bum. I'm really aware that for people who do pod or for people who do whatever, it's a pain in the ass, but I do think it's worth doing. I really, really do. Test it for sure. Like, don't just do exactly what I say and just go, oh, well, you know, Steph said that. Test it. But if you have had mock-ups for more than 4 to 6 months and your sales still haven't begun to climb, I'd say maybe that would be like the first port of call for me. I'm looking to attract parents. Yes. So that's the thing with me. Like, I'm seeing a lot of different things. Like, there's adult products, there's baby products. For me, I'm kind of like, it's got a niche down, and that's another thing. If you have a saturated market, you have to niche down further. So in the HBSA, we teach like a 3-layer dip, like a trifle niching and layering technique, where you basically take one of, I think it's 8 or 9 layers. You take that one, you take that one, you take that one. Together, they form your niche. Okay, it's a very specific way of doing it. But you have to make sure, if you're in a saturated market, jewelry, art, downloadables, pod, you need to make sure that you are niching down, because if you're not, people just go, oh, it's just another shop, like on Etsy, on Shopify, on Amazon, whatever. But if you're niching down and targeting specific people with a specific voice and a specific brand and a specific product with specific pain points, then you know that you are a specialist, and you know that people are going to see you as such. Okay. It's like me, right? I could have quite have easily been like, I'm a small business coach. Yay. Because a lot of everything that I teach can apply to handmade businesses or not handmade businesses, right? I'll just take a little bit of tweaking. And I've owned and worked and been involved in both, right? Both handmade and not handmade. But because I've niched down and been more specific, the people that I attract are more specific to me. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I hope that make sense? Let me just see the comments real quick. Not sure it all looks like the same person's work. Yes, I think that's probably something to do with the mock-ups though, maybe. All right, let's get into, let's pick another one. Let's pick this one. Quirks and Foibles. Let's pick that one. Right, I'm just going to cross off the tabs that I've done already. There we go. Okie doke. So, same questions. Tell me whether the brand is clear, like color, imagery, fonts. Is it all clear? What's your initial thoughts? The core values obvious, and what are they? And is it clear who they are trying to attract? So I want you guys right now in the comments to tell me, okay? Because I'm gonna take a little bit more of a step back. So I want you guys to tell me. I want you to answer the question with yes or no. Is the branding clear? Is the branding obvious? Like the colors, the fonts. Is it obvious what their brand is? Okay. So answer that question for me. Yes or no, guys. If you're listening and you're not watching, just come back. Just come back and watch and tell me what you guys think of this brand. So, is it clear what their branding is? Let me know. Let me know. I know there is a bit of a delay as well. So I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna let you guys answer, because I often think the hive mind is really important to make sure that we're all like getting what we want to do. Maybe fewer backgrounds. Yes, I think so. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you. Okay. Anyone else has any input on whether this brand is, or the branding is obvious? Is it obvious? Let me know. It's distracting. I think it's black and gold. Okay, I'd say yes to colors. It's pretty good brand, but I think icon not clear. Holistic, mystical themes, witchy. Yes, I'd say yes to colors. Pretty good brand. I read that one. Okay. Right. Okay. So black and gold. Yeah. So this is one of those circumstances where actually, if it wasn't for this, the branding wouldn't be very clear. If it wasn't for the heading, it wouldn't be clear. So that leaves me kind of a bit like, okay, because there's a lot of different backgrounds. And I do agree. I actually think the backgrounds, like I personally can see that these two are like paper backgrounds that she's put the product on and taken pictures of. So, and also some pictures are quite dark. I know these are videos, but like this is quite dark. That's the only thing I would say. And I think there's a lot of quite differing, distracting backgrounds. Like this unicorn thing, it's not really working for me. And this picture, I'd say no. Like it's just not really hitting the mark. All the pictures are very distracting. All the pictures are quite different. However, to me, it's obvious who she's trying to attract, and that is holistic, witchy beings, probably people who know about tarot cards, manifestation, crystals. They burn sage probably every week. And I do think, let me go on page 2. I do think that like all the pictures, if I'm being completely honest, are very distracting. And I think you guys have agreed with that. Yeah. Black and gold, definitely witchy vibes. Yeah. I like the black and gold. And I think that's a good brand, but I just think there could be like with the product pictures, because don't forget, product pictures have to get the brand across as well. So don't think it's all just about the colors and the fonts and the logo, because it's not. As we know, like your brand is your business. Your business is a living, breathing thing. Your brand has to come across in every aspect of your business, whether that's descriptions, product photos, social media posts. It all has to come across in some way, shape, or form, right? So this is where I'm thinking, okay, the brand, this fine. The brand touch points, which basically means how the brand is seeping into and connecting with the people as they're seeing you online, not so much. So are the core values obvious? I think the answer is yes. I think that you are seeing the core values. Like the core values are mystical, dreamy, witchy, but I just think the brand touch points itself needs to be upgraded. I think the very first place to do that would be the product pictures. I just think there needs to be more product picture love. And I also think as well, like, one of my questions would be, what makes your earrings unique? What makes your jewelry unique? I also think as well that there are quite a differing amount of products. Like, you've got a lot of different products here. And for me, that personally turns me off a little bit as well. Because I think if you're selling witchy jewelry, that's a good niche. If you're selling witchy mystical candles, that's another good niche. Having them all together, I'm not sure. I think it could work because they are all the same target audience, but I do think that the pictures have to be very cohesive and under that same brand. How's best to change the pictures? Are you in the HBSA? I think you might be. I think you might be. If you are, go to the photography module. Also, we are in the process of getting a photography expert to come in and not only teach a whopping great lesson, but also to be there as like the guiding light, the expert, and also to give you guys a really good deal at getting professional pictures taken. So if you are in the HBSA and you are like struggling with the product pictures, there's something really cool coming. Okay, cool. Right, I'm gonna do one more. Oh, one more. Let's do this one. Okay, so can you guys see this one? Okay, Seashell. That's the first thing I see is Seashell, and then I see it's like Irish seashell crafts. And I'm like, okay. So same questions. We're going to go with the same questions. Is the branding clear? What's your initial thoughts? In fact, I'm going to ask you that one. I'm going to ask every single one of you to tell me what your initial thoughts are. What's your initial thoughts? Quirks and Foibles says not yet. It must be just on the lives that you're always hearing, because I always see your name crop up, and to be honest, a lot of the calls merge into one in my brain. But we would love to have you in there because I really think you would benefit, because there's so much that we cover in there. So yeah, we would love to have you in. Also, there is the wait list as well. I don't know, because I've actually had a few people this morning message me about the HBSA. So what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to put the waitlist link in here as well, because it actually opens on the 19th of March. But you need to be on the waitlist. So if I'll pop the waitlist link in the comments. It'll be in the link in bio as well. But if you go to handmadebosses.com/HBSA waitlist, you can join. Then you get like £2,885 worth of goodies. Okay, so what's your first initial thoughts? Colors reflect banner, shell gifts. Tracy says, love this, awesome. Bright and summery does make me think of seaside and shells. Yes. Not looking at products, but banner is fab. Yes, love it. Clear branding, it really stands out as different. Yeah, love that. Yeah. I think, yeah, I mean, I think you've probably nailed it. I know exactly. I love that city. Like, that's a really good picture. I think you've nailed the vibe here. Like, I know it's like beachy stuff. And I'm like, yes, I'm there for the beachy stuff. I'm such a beach bum. I could spend all day down the beach if I could. But I just, right at the minute, I live about 15 minutes away from a beach, but there's roadworks that adds that up to like 30 minutes. I'm like, do I want to drive an hour to go to the beach that normally takes me like 15 minutes to get there? And I'm like, no. But I love the beach. It's like, it's my favorite place to go, to breathe, to be, to think. It's my favorite place to be. There's always sand in every single pair of my trainers. There's always sand in my car. There's always sand in crevices where they should not be. So for me, I am your target audience. So the branding is clear. I really love this. I don't feel like it fits in with this logo, if I'm being completely honest, and being maybe even leaning on slightly picky. I think that maybe because you've got all these 3 colors. Like, I'd love to see this in this, like this font. And actually, I'd probably get rid of like the C maybe, and maybe just have like these colors as Irish seashell crafts, and maybe like have it in this font, and change the rather than it just saying seashell, maybe I'd put your whole name in there as well. So yes, the branding is clear. It's gotta be blue, goldy beige, and like dark blue, because that's like the sea colors. And I think with these colors here, so you've got like light pink, you've got the blue. I think the only thing I would say actually is that it could do with more blue. Like, if I'm being picky, it could do with a bit more blue, because the sea is blue, and whenever you see like this kind of blue, you do think of the sea and very calm. And so I think probably it could do with a wee bit more blue. Now, is it clear who they're trying to attract? Certainly beach bums. I really do like the wind chimes. I think that is definitely something where I'm like, oh, that's like a specialty. That is something that I can see you getting really, really into. But there's lots of different things in there. So there's lots of different like seashell angels. I think the hanging things are great. But then there's like wholesale seashells, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I think probably they might be conflicting a little bit. It depends who your target audience is. Lego's a bit too big and it puts me off. Give summer beach vibes. Brand Lego feels a bit gimmicky compared to product images. Yeah, okay, yeah, I can kind of see what you're saying. Strong brand identity does what it says on the tin. She sells seashells. Yes, you were trying to catch me out there, weren't you? All occasions, maybe give some examples. Yeah, I don't like it. So one of my biggest pet peeves, and I'm probably going to call out like several people here, is when people say gifts, or gifts for all occasions, or for all your gifting needs, or gifts for her, or like I really hate it when people are so vague, because when you're vague, you're actually just straight up not really attracting anybody, because you are so vague. And I also think as well, when you do have like a general gift shop, having worked in a gift shop basically for 3 years of my life, I can tell you with no uncertain terms that business was going nowhere fast, because it was just a general gift shop. There was no specialty there. And because you're so general, you feel like you have to fill the void with lots of different presents and lots of different gifts and lots of different items and lots of different products. And you end up spreading yourself extremely thin, not only your time, your energy, but also your financial resources as well. Because when you're not specialized enough, you're kind of just throwing everything at it. So like for me, like I would say, especially for people who live by the ocean or want to embody that, or it could be for your special someone who has a beach hut or is always down the beach in the summer, or like a beach bum, or like I think maybe there's something within that as well. There's something within that where you've got to be able to say, these are my people, and these are the kind of places that I envision my items being in. Yeah. So does that make sense, guys? Have we covered everything? How are we feeling? Has that helped? Are you feeling a bit more like you understand the branding thing now? So if you are watching on Instagram, I need to find my little doobie flip. So if you are watching on Instagram, if you comment the word Brandathon, I will send you all of the good stuff to do with the Brandathon, how to join, how to do all that good stuff. There is 7 days before the kickoff week begins. So there's 7 days left to join the Brandathon. So if you know someone who's going to benefit from this, if you yourself want to join, if you are feeling like, you know what, I really want to make sure that I am, you know, doing the most that I possibly can, then definitely join the Brandathon. Okay. Let me just pop the comments. There we go. I'll pop it in there for you as well. There's 7 days left to join the Brandathon. Okay. Like I said, if you want to rebrand on me, because that's basically what we're going to be doing. There's 3 days. There's 3 live. There's 4. Well, actually, there's 5. Actually, technically speaking, there is 5 because there is the kickoff live, which is on the 10th. Live 1, 2, and 3 are the training lives. Then you've got a check-in live on the 27th. So that is where I'm basically going to be marking your homework for you. So I need you to stick around those entire 3 weeks, but the 17th to the 22nd is when we're really going to be getting nitty gritty and really in it. Okay. So I really, really hope that you guys have enjoyed this. I really, really hope that it has been helpful for all of you guys who I did the critiques and stuff for. Next Monday will be the Brandathon kickoff call. So if you're excited for that, let me know. Now, if you are watching on Instagram, the kickoff live will not be on Instagram. So you need to join the group. You need to come in. You need to, to make sure that you are in it, because you've got to be in it to win it, as they say. And there will be also there will be also giveaways and prizes and all that good stuff throughout the Brandathon. So if that sounds good, that's a little bit of an incentive. Like teacher used to bring in like sweets or a tub of like chocolates or stuff like that. That's me. But guys, thank you so much for joining me. I will see you same time next week for the Brandathon kickoff call, and I will see you then. Bye everyone.